A sudden explosion rocked the lab, trapping me and Liam, my girlfriend Chloe's first love, in the inferno. Heartlessly, my girlfriend Chloe chose to save Liam first, leaving me behind. I didn't stop her, didn't beg her. I let her leave me in the raging fire. Because in my past life, after I revealed I was the dean's son and used her career prospects to make her save me, Liam died in that fire. Later, she used my guilt to siphon off my family's assets before locking me in a lab and burning me alive. As I begged, she sneered, "Ryan, if you hadn't threatened me with your family's influence back then, would Liam have died so horribly? I'll make you suffer 100 times what Liam endured in that fire." When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day I was trapped in the fire with the university hospital's heartthrob, Liam. A loud crash. A cabinet slammed down on me, the pain jolting me awake. Ignoring the agony, I tried to see through the thick smoke choking me, making me cough violently, eyes stinging shut. A dull ache throbbed in my right leg. Instinctively, I tried to shield my arms, crying out no. But my arms, supposed to be charred nearly to the bone, were unharmed. How? Before I could process it, frantic shouts reached my ears. "Liam! Liam! Are you okay?" That voice, so familiar. Then, Liam's weak voice from nearby, "Chloe, help me." I looked up in disbelief. Chloe was kneeling beside Liam, frantically trying to move the table, pinning him down. Seeing them, I could barely breathe. Wait, hadn't Chloe just locked me in the lab and burned me alive? The thought made me curl up, trembling uncontrollably. At the lab entrance, my colleague Ethan yelled desperately, "Chloe, are you crazy? Save Ryan first. He's your boyfriend." The scene was so real. I realized it wasn't a dream. I was reborn. Reborn to the day I was trapped in the fire with Liam. With a creak, Chloe finally moved the table. Without a glance at me, she helped Liam up and rushed towards the exit. I laughed bitterly. Wasn't it just like last time? I was her boyfriend, but she only had eyes for Liam. Of course, Liam was handsome, a godlike figure at the university hospital, and rumored to be the young master of Sterling Medical. Even if Chloe wasn't single, she'd probably fallen for him long ago. I struggled to stand, but the cabinet pinned me down firmly. My lower leg was bleeding profusely from glass shards. I couldn't move. Chloe seemed to notice me only then. No worry in her eyes, just annoyance. She frowned. "Liam is Sterling Medical's only son. If anything happens to him, the whole hospital could go under. I'm doing this for the greater good. Your injuries aren't severe. I'll come back for you after I get Liam out." I laughed again. If I hadn't lived through this once, I might have believed her greater good nonsense. Covered in blood, yet my injuries were not severe? Ethan didn't hesitate, starting to rush into the fire, but colleagues behind him grabbed him tightly. "Ethan, calm down. The lab's full of flammable and explosive materials. It's too dangerous." He was right. In my memory, this lab would explode in about 15 minutes. Last time, after I was rescued, I immediately urged everyone to leave, saving their lives. Chloe had intended to go back for Liam, but seeing the escalating fire, she ultimately didn't re-enter. So how could I believe her promise to come back for me now? I knew she wouldn't, but I didn't want to endanger those who genuinely cared. I pushed myself up, shouting with all my might, "Ethan, don't come in. It's going to explode soon. Run." Hearing me yell, "Explode," Chloe paused, turning back with disbelief, her eyes cold as if looking at a stranger. "Ryan, I never realized you were so manipulative. The fire department will be here in half an hour to control it. What will our colleagues think of me if you say things like that? Can't you learn from Liam and be a little kinder?" Her sanctimonious act made me laugh contemptuously. "When you were sleeping with me, you didn't call me manipulative, did you?" Liam tugged lightly at Chloe's collar, his voice weak. "Chloe, I feel sick." Chloe instantly shifted her gaze from me to Liam. "Hang in there, Liam. I won't let anything happen to you." Then she supported him and left without looking back. I strained with all my might, pushing the heavy cabinet. Excruciating pain shot through me, but compared to what I endured last time, this was nothing. Seeing Chloe leave with Liam, Ethan slumped to the ground in disbelief. "Chloe, you're really sick. The dean won't let you get away with this." Ethan was the only one at the hospital who knew my true identity. But his words only drew colder scorn from Chloe. She laughed dismissively. "The dean won't let me get away with it? Ridiculous. Liam is the only son of Sterling Medical. He's the one the dean can't afford to lose." I struggled out from the gap between the cabinet and the floor, tearing the wound on my leg wider. Blood soaked my clothes, but I couldn't care. I had to live. Time was running out. I yelled at Ethan, "Don't beg her. Just run." I could never forget the crazed look in Chloe's eyes last time as she poured gasoline on me. No love left, only overwhelming hatred. Ignoring my pleas, ignoring our years together, she'd set me ablaze. I realized then she blamed me entirely for Liam's death. She hated me so much. Before I could shake off the agonizing memory, Ethan charged back into the fire despite the danger. Ryan, hold on. Smoke choked me, blurring my vision. Only Ethan's figure was clear against the flames. You crazy fool. Get out. He ignored my angry shouts, gritting his teeth, laboriously hauling half my weight, dragging me step by step towards the exit. The searing heat baked our skin. I saw a lock of his hair catch fire, sparks flying from the ends, but he seemed oblivious to the pain, just kept pulling me forward. Looking at his soot-blackened profile, complex emotions churned within me. I glanced at my watch with difficulty. Not much time left. If we didn't get out, we'd both die here. Taking a deep breath, I forced myself to stay alert and yelled, listen. When I count to 3, we dive out. Don't worry about me, understand? Ethan answered without turning, yell all you want, I'm not letting go. A warmth spread through me. No more wasted words. I fixed my gaze on the lab doorway, our hope for survival. 3, 2, 1. Jump. I screamed with every ounce of strength I had, pulling Ethan with me as we lunged for the door. Boom. Almost simultaneously as we cleared the entrance, a deafening explosion erupted behind us. The massive shockwave threw me to the ground. My eardrums felt like they'd burst. My vision went white. I couldn't see or hear anything, just endless ringing in my head. Ryan, how are you? Can you hear me? After what felt like an eternity, Ethan's anxious voice finally broke through, faint and intermittent. I forced my eyes open. I'm okay, just my leg. Ethan followed my gaze downwards. It looks bad. Don't look. Wait here. He scrambled away. Soon, Ethan returned with several colleagues carrying a stretcher. Seeing my leg, their faces changed. One male colleague gasped, my God. How many stitches will that need? My whole body ached as if falling apart, but I remained conscious. Passing an emergency room, I saw Chloe. She was gently holding Liam's shoulders, comforting him softly as if nothing had happened, as if she'd completely forgotten me. A head nurse, usually friendly with me, examined my injuries, shaking her head sadly. Ryan, what terrible luck. So many fractures it might take a full year to recover. Her voice choked up. Luckily your right hand wasn't injured. After recovery, you can still perform surgery. I managed a weak smile, wanting to say something but too pained to speak. The head nurse lowered her voice, whispering conspiratorially, that Liam, I hear he only has minor scrapes. Look how worried Dr. Chloe is, TSK. Hearing this, Ethan exploded, pointing at Chloe. Chloe, you're disgusting. Before Ethan could finish, Liam coughed weakly, his voice low. Chloe, I'm a little tired. Chloe immediately turned to him, her voice full of tender concern. Liam, just hold on a bit longer, colleagues are coming soon. Then she looked up, glanced at me, and snapped impatiently at Ethan, isn't Ryan fine now? Ryan is my boyfriend. Our business has nothing to do with you. Can you stop meddling? I stared hard at Chloe's sickening face, forcing out the words, from now on, we have no relationship either. We're breaking up. Ethan nodded emphatically. Good riddance. No point reasoning with an animal. Chloe froze, apparently surprised I'd say that. She frowned impatiently. Ryan, what are you trying to pull now? Playing games with me? I sneered. Play games with you? Are you worthy? I fought back tears, looking past her at Liam, asking word by word, you'd rather save another man than me, is that what you call a boyfriend? Liam, a grown man, produced tears instantly. Ryan, how can you say that about Chloe? She just knew you were stronger than me. She had more faith in you. She just chose to save the person who needed her more. The ward descended into chaos, Chloe's accusations, Liam's sobbing, drawing countless onlookers. Well, the heartthrob has a point. He's so frail, obviously needed help first. Yeah, Dr. Chloe was thinking of everyone. Why is Dr. Ryan being so difficult? Exactly, Liam is the sole heir of Sterling Medical, saving him was definitely more important. Just then, my father rushed back from overseas. Seeing him, Chloe instantly changed her tune, rushing over. Dean, the lab just exploded. I risked my life to save Liam. Liam says he can strengthen the partnership between Sterling Medical and our hospital. My father's face darkened. Where's Ryan? Chloe, thinking my father was about to assign blame, hurriedly said, Dean, only he and Ryan were in the lab. Liam certainly didn't make any mistakes. Ryan must take full responsibility for this. He was just rescued, his injuries aren't serious, but I suggest he shouldn't participate in experiments anymore. Liam can handle it alone. My father's expression grew uglier. Lying on the stretcher, I sneered inwardly. Just wait, Chloe. Without me, Ryan, you'll have plenty of suffering ahead. Before I could clearly see my father's face, I passed out. When I woke up again, it was evening the next day. My limbs were encased in thick plaster and bandages, immobile, but I felt reborn. Ryan. Ethan, looking exhausted but excited, came to my bedside. I tried to lift a hand but winced as pain shot through my wounds. Seeing my state, he couldn't hold back. You idiot. Do you know how badly you were hurt? I smiled weakly. At least, I got my life back. This time, I didn't owe Chloe anything. Neither my father nor I would die. You. Ethan sighed. I've told your father everything that happened. He was furious. He's calling an accident review meeting tomorrow. Hearing about my father brought tears to my eyes. Last time, because of me, my father ended up. Ethan. I tried to compose myself. There's one more thing I need you to do. Tell me, what is it? The lab, the surveillance footage from before the accident. Can you get it for me? Ethan sounded relaxed. Don't worry, I already had someone pull it. There was a small hiccup, but don't worry, I handled it. I looked at him, overwhelmed with guilt. Last time, brainwashed by Chloe, I thought Ethan was jealous and targeting me. I even had a huge fight with him, cutting off our friendship. I died without ever apologizing. Looking back now, I was blind, mistaking trash for treasure. Just as I was about to rest, Chloe arrived. Behind her stood Liam, perfectly fine, not a hair out of place. He casually adjusted his collar, drawing glances from everyone around. Then look at me, trapped in plaster, unable to move. Ethan took a deep breath, mocking, the heartthrob looks completely unscathed, doesn't he? Chloe ignored him, walking over, trying to take my hand. I recoiled in disgust. She didn't even think she was wrong, actually smiling. Ryan, see? You're fine, aren't you? Liam said he'll strengthen the cooperation between Sterling Medical and our hospital. My promotion is looking good. Aren't you happy for me? I couldn't help but laugh coldly. Happy? I nearly died in that lab and you want me to be happy. Liam sighed dramatically, his eyes darkening. I didn't expect you to be so selfish. Willing to ruin Chloe's future over such baseless jealousy. Honestly, I really look down on you. I stared at him coldly. Do you know what a ruined future looks like? Let me tell you, from the moment Chloe abandoned me, her future was gone. Chloe pointed at me, her brow furrowed enough to trap a fly. Ryan, Liam kindly came to see you, even wanted to apologize, and this is your attitude? Don't forget, I'm your girlfriend. Instead of being grateful, you're cursing me. How much money can you make with your dead-end job? Everything I do is for our future. This woman disgusted me more and more. Suppressing my rage, I told Chloe, don't forget, we already broke up. Get out. The argument in the room grew loud, attracting gossip from outside. I say, Dr. Ryan is fine now, just let it go. What's more important than his girlfriend's career? If it were me, I'd endure a little hardship. After all, if Dr. Chloe becomes successful, he'll benefit too. Ethan whirled around, pointing at the gawking crowd. Stop gossiping. That's not what happened. The dean is holding an accident review meeting tomorrow. When the truth comes out, we'll see who's embarrassed. Chloe, who usually ignored Ethan, finally looked at him properly, frowning. What did you say? What accident review? Ethan crossed his arms, pointedly staring at Liam. Yes, how the lab accident happened. Some people know perfectly well. Hearing this, Liam visibly trembled. The color drained from his pale face, looking like he might faint. Chloe quickly supported him, comforting him gently. Liam, don't be afraid. It's okay. I believe you. Liam leaned into her embrace, looking at her with deep affection. Chloe, I trust you won't believe their nonsense, right? That day in the lab, I clearly warned Ryan. He paused deliberately, as if recalling something terrifying, trembling again. I warned him to be careful, but he wouldn't listen, said I was meddling. Then the explosion happened. I really tried my best. I really wanted to save him. The crowd outside, quiet for a moment, started condemning me again upon hearing Liam. So it was Dr. Ryan's operational error that caused the explosion. No wonder Dr. Chloe didn't save him. After all, Liam was innocent. Chloe, seeing Liam's fragile state, grew even more protective, her anger flaring. She spun around, pointing at my nose. Ryan, you refuse to admit your mistake and still think you're right. If you apologize to Liam now, I can put in a good word for you at tomorrow's meeting so you don't. Ethan and I exchanged a look and smiled. I cut her off. If you two kneel and apologize to me right now, maybe I'll show you some mercy at the meeting. Liam gave a faint, ambiguous smile. Ryan, I'm doing this for your own good. Why won't you accept it? I didn't want to deal with them anymore and pressed the nurse call button. The head nurse quickly pushed through the crowd. What's wrong? I pointed at Chloe and Liam. I recall Dr. Chloe and Dr. Liam aren't assigned to this department, are they? Why are they neglecting their duties like this? The head nurse, already disliking Chloe, said coldly, "Dr. Chloe, please don't disturb Dr. Ryan here. He just underwent surgery all night." Seeing I wasn't intimidated, Chloe pointed at me, sputtering "You," for a while before finally taking Liam's hand and leaving angrily. Ethan watched me for a long time. "I think you've changed." I twisted my lips in a smile that was neither bitter nor self-mocking. Dying once makes you see clearly whether someone like Chloe is human or a dog. A rather costly epiphany. After dealing with urgent matters, my father came to my room. His eyes were bloodshot, stubble on his chin, his face etched with worry and fatigue. "Ryan, how did? I was only abroad for a short while. How did?" He choked up, unable to continue, his trembling hand gently touching the gauze on my face, full of heartache. Looking at my father, who seemed to have aged considerably, I couldn't hold back my tears either. Last time, because I wrongly trusted Chloe, the hospital my family built over decades ended up in others' hands. All assets gone. My father couldn't handle the blow, fell ill, and passed away soon after. And Chloe, stepping over the ruins of my family, rose to become a new star in the medical field. Thankfully, this time he was still alive. I grasped his hand back, sobbing, "Ethan probably told you everything. The lab explosion, but that was the lab you gave me, Dad. How could I not cherish it? It definitely wasn't my fault." My father's voice was low and hoarse, filled with suppressed anger. "Ryan, don't worry. Whether he's really the sole heir of Sterling Medical or not, Dad isn't afraid. I won't let you take the blame for nothing." The next morning, Ethan pushed me in a wheelchair to the meeting. Felt less like a meeting and more like a denunciation session. Chloe and Liam sat opposite me, each looking more aggrieved than the other, as if I were the villain. The conference room was filled with hospital executives. My father sat at the head, face grim. Seeing me enter, a flicker of pain crossed his eyes, quickly replaced by sternness. "Dr. Liam," my father stared intently at Liam, "only you and Dr. Ryan were in the lab at the time. You claim it was Dr. Ryan's operational error." Liam trembled, looking frightened. "Dean, it's absolutely true. I did warn Dr. Ryan, warned him." My father slammed the table, startling Liam so badly he nearly fell off his chair. "Do you know the consequences of lying?" Chloe frowned, immediately standing up to defend her heartthrob. "Dean, why are you so certain Dr. Liam is lying?" My father shot her a cold glance. "It's not your turn to speak here." Chloe fell silent, sitting back down awkwardly. Though somewhat known in the hospital, she wouldn't dare defy my father. Liam's eyes reddened, looking pitiful. "Dean, how could I joke with the Sterling name?" "Sterling?" The room erupted. The previously drowsy executives suddenly perked up, whispering amongst themselves. "He really is the Sterling Medical heir. Sterling Medical is our biggest partner. If we offend him, maybe we should just smooth this over. Yeah, nobody died. Just give Dr. Ryan a reprimand and let it go." My father turned pale with anger, pointing at the whispering executives. "Are you saying that because Dr. Liam is the son of some partner company, an innocent Dr. Ryan should bear all responsibility?" I looked at the group, feeling a chill. For their own benefit, they were ready to throw me under the bus. The executives exchanged uneasy glances, avoiding eye contact. My father's face was darker than charcoal. With a sharp wave of his hand, Ethan understood immediately and turned on the large screen in the conference room. A high-definition image filled the screen, surveillance footage from the lab just before the incident. Liam's face instantly turned deathly white. His lips trembled, shaking his head repeatedly. "Impossible! This is impossible! Isn't installing surveillance in labs strictly forbidden?" My father glanced at him coldly. "This lab was a personal gift to my son. Do I need your permission to install whatever I want?" Chloe turned to me, shocked. "What?" I remained expressionless, stating coldly, "Ethan told you." The air seemed to freeze for seconds, utterly silent, until someone nervously stammered, "Dean, are you saying Ryan is your son?" Ethan ignored them, continuing to operate the mouse, playing the footage. On screen, I was in my lab coat and mask, methodically conducting the experiment. Everything normal. Suddenly, The container in front of me spontaneously ignited. Flames shot up, thick smoke billowed. Chloe immediately pointed at the screen. See, right there. Ryan, you must have made a mistake. But don't worry, I can take the punishment for you. Liam visibly relaxed, tears welling up again, looking helpless. I really didn't want to embarrass Ryan like this. It's all my fault. If only I'd warned him sooner. My father slammed the table again, making Liam flinch. But the spineless executives, already intimidated by Liam's act and the sterling name, bowed their heads. Dean, since it's like this, maybe just let it go. One is the sterling medical heir. The other is your son. Making a big deal won't benefit anyone. I admit, for a fleeting moment, I doubted myself. But the doubt lasted only seconds. After all, I'd done this experiment hundreds of times. I could do it blindfolded. Plus, my project didn't even involve flammable materials. Even if I'd made a mistake, it couldn't have caused spontaneous combustion. Ethan gave me a reassuring look, a slight smile playing on his lips. He continued, Executives, you only saw Ryan's container ignite, but did you see what he was actually doing? True, instruments blocked the view of my hands. The footage only showed my upper body. But Ethan suddenly zoomed in on the glass cabinet behind my workstation. The enlarged image clearly showed Liam sneaking up to my station, and while I wasn't looking, furtively pouring an unknown reagent from a bottle into my container. The entire action took only seconds. My fists clenched, fury burning inside me. Liam! My father pointed at Liam. What else do you have to say? Liam suddenly turned pale and collapsed to the floor. This must be a misunderstanding. No, it's Ethan. You maliciously edited this video, didn't you? Just then, my father spoke briefly into his phone, and the conference room doors were violently pushed open. My father's assistant entered, face grim, followed by a stern-looking, elegantly dressed woman. The woman's sharp eyes swept the room, finally settling on Liam. Mr. Liam? The heir to our Sterling Medical. MMS Sterling. The executives shot to their feet, trembling, looking towards my father. Dean, maybe we should handle this privately. Our hospital really can't lose Sterling Medical support. Yes? Look, she came in person. My father sneered, lighting a cigarette, slowly blowing a smoke ring. Miss Sterling, take a good look. Is this really your son? Hearing Miss Sterling, Liam's face grew even paler. He kept his head down, body trembling slightly, unable to meet the woman's gaze. The woman glanced at him contemptuously, scoffing. My son is currently pursuing his graduate studies abroad. I came today to see exactly which audacious impostor dares to impersonate my son. With that, she grabbed Liam's chin, forcing his head up. Handsome enough, I suppose, but such a venomous heart? The executives, who moments ago were worried about offending Liam, instantly changed their tune. Are you kidding me? He's a fake. How dare you deceive our hospital? Outrageous. People like him should be jailed. He nearly got the dean's son framed. Unbelievable. Chloe, initially wanting to say something, shrank back under Liam's glare, finally managing a tearful, Liam, how could you do this to Ryan? Honestly, I just felt disgusted. This woman's hypocrisy knew no bounds. Liam reacted as if hearing the world's biggest joke, bursting into laughter. Chloe, what right do you have to judge me? Didn't you enjoy my lies too? He shook off Miss Sterling's hand, pointing at Chloe's nose. Ever since you thought I was the Sterling medical heir, haven't you been following me around like a pathetic dog, wagging your tail? Am I wrong? Ha 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 ha. You pretended to save me, but wasn't it all for yourself? You sanctimonious hypocrite. As much as I despised Liam, I had to admit he was right. Chloe was a thorough hypocrite. With the truth revealed, several uniformed police officers entered, addressing Liam. Mr. Liam, you are suspected of intentional assault and fraud. Please come with us. Liam turned deathly pale, swaying on his feet. He looked desperately at Chloe. Chloe, save me. Save me. However, Chloe simply turned her head away coldly, as if she didn't know him. Liam collapsed completely, like a wilted flower. After Liam was taken away by the police, the people in the conference room dispersed quickly, leaving only Ethan, me, and Chloe, who stood there like a wooden post. Ryan, I'm sorry, I was just deceived by Liam too. Chloe suddenly rushed towards me, face full of remorse, as if the cold observer from moments ago wasn't her. Believe me, I love you. So disgusting. Look at yourself. Ethan shoved her away, dusting off his hands as if he'd touched something filthy. I looked at Chloe coldly, a mocking curve on my lips. Liam needed a dog. Ryan, do not. Liam's case went to court quickly. He was eventually sentenced to a year in prison and had his medical license revoked, but he was released early for good behavior. Chloe was fired by my father. No other hospital dared hire her. Once a rising doctor, she became a pariah. A year later, my body had mostly recovered. With my father's permission, I returned to work at the hospital. Unexpectedly, on my first day back, I saw Chloe again. She wore a baseball cap and mask, sneaking into the hospital furtively. Ethan wrinkled his nose in disgust. Does she really think dressing like that makes her unrecognizable? I paused. Ethan leaned in, grinning mischievously. Didn't you know? She caught that disease, tisk. Our hospital is top-notch in treating it, so she has to come here. Serves her right. Couldn't help but sneer. That disease certainly suits her. Leaving work that evening, as I reached the parking lot, Chloe suddenly appeared in front of me. I yelped instinctively. She quickly tried to steady me, but I flinched away. She rubbed her head, smiling awkwardly. I heard from the nurses you were back today, so… Ryan, do you know how long I've been looking for you? We never broke up. How could you leave me? I took a deep breath, face impassive. I told you we broke up a year ago. Stop looking for me. Chloe suddenly grabbed my wrist, right on an old injury, making me gasp in pain. Let go. She squeezed harder, teeth gritted. Ryan, if it weren't for your father, how would I have ended up like this? Shouldn't you be responsible for me? I scoffed. You're hilarious. You caught a filthy disease and you're telling me I'm responsible. Have some shame. Her face turned an ugly shade of purple. Humiliated and enraged, she raised her hand to slap me. Just then, a hand slammed hard across her face. Chloe, you bitch. I spun around. It was Liam. After half a year in prison, he'd lost his polished look. His face was contorted with rage. Liam pointed at her nose, screaming, I looked for you the moment I got out. Turns out you used me like a free gigolo and then tossed me aside. And you dare sneak around looking for Ryan behind my back. Chloe, stunned by the slap, took a few seconds to react, then shoved Liam away. Get lost. Take a look at yourself in a puddle you think you can compare to Ryan. Ryan is the dean's son. What are you? Chloe, truly beyond saving. I sneered, deliberately speaking loudly. Chloe, that nasty disease of yours can't wait. Remember to come for your checkups every day. Don't spread it to others. What? Liam's eyes widened in disbelief, screaming, Chloe, you have a venereal disease. Chloe, you infected me. With that, the two started brawling right there in the parking lot. I had no interest in watching them. I got in my car, slammed the door shut with a bang, and locked it. But those two, like rabid dogs, fought even more fiercely. I rolled my eyes and messaged the security captain in our work group chat. Two lunatics fighting in the parking lot. Need assistance ASAP. The message barely sent when I heard a loud thud. I looked up sharply. Liam was lying in a pool of blood. A car stood nearby, the driver terrified, clutching his head, yelling, Oh my God! Chloe bolted, but the security guards rushing over caught her immediately. Hospital colleagues swarmed the scene. Liam was pronounced dead at the scene. The parking lot surveillance clearly captured Chloe pushing Liam into the path of the car. She was ultimately convicted of intentional homicide. As a doctor, I knew her disease was incurable. Let her rot away slowly in prison for the rest of her life. Serves her right.